Welcome to day 2 of Trump 2.0, Trump 47, and it's already happening. They are doing exactly what they said they would do because it's actually their job. What are you talking about, BCP? What are you talking about? I'm talking about our man, Tom Homan. President Trump has built a stellar team, and he has the right man for border SAR in Tom Homan. This is what he just said today on Fox News, that the raids have already started. This is almost inconceivable given what we've had to endure the last 4 years, that ICE, which stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is actually enforcing immigration. Imagine that. No more lawlessness. Law enforcement actually enforcing the law. Let's get into this news right now. Now, if you caught my previous report, make sure that you hit the notification bell and you subscribe. The ICE raids were going to be put on hold or slowed down because of leaks to the press about the details of those raids. Well, John Roberts over at Fox News asked him about it. He said, based on your initial schedule today, and that was today, Tuesday, roundups of criminal illegal aliens in the process of deporting them would begin. That seems to have been put on hold for a little while. When can we expect that to happen? Where will it begin? Tom Homan said, no, it started. ICE teams are out there as of today. We gave them the direction to prioritize public safety threats that we're looking for. So we've been working on the target list. It's happening right now, baby. Today, Tuesday, day 2, January 21st. There was some discussion about Chicago because an operational plan was released. So we got to look at and reevaluate. Does this raise officer safety concerns? And it does. But we've addressed that. And teams are out there effective today, right now. This is great news. Folks, true leadership, whether it's President Trump or the infamous Tom Homan, they don't just yab and talk. This is why the deep state absolutely hates Trump, because he didn't just say all the things he was going to do against the deep state. He didn't say all the things he was going to do to actually help we the people. But in his first term, it was promises made, promises kept. And he said a lot of things he's going to do in his second term, and they are afraid. The cartels are pissed. The traffickers and the kid diddlers are peeved. And Tom Homan is going to put a stop to, as much as possible, right? These traffickers, these murderers, and these pillagers and violators of women and children. Folks, a lot of good things are happening right now. The deep state swamp already feeling the pressure, and the globalists already with knee-jerk reactions. Let's get into this. Welcome to the original BCP news show. I am James, aka BCP. You have spoken and I have listened. This channel will only be a news channel. If you want to see my business development and what have you, it'll be on another channel. The link will be down below. If you want to see my in-depth coverage this evening, I will have an in-depth coverage having to do with the news of the day that I just not going to cover here on this platform. Make sure you join us over at bcpextras.com or therealbcp.com. All right, let's get back into the swamp and the swamp creatures. Let's talk Paul Abate and what's happening at the FBI. Acting FBI Director Paul Abate abruptly announced his retirement just minutes before Trump was sworn in yesterday. FBI Director Christopher Wray recently resigned, so his deputy Paul Abate had been expected to replace Wray as Kash Patel waits his confirmation. However, Paul Abate retired after 28 years of service on day 1 of President Trump's second term. And as of right now, We don't know who will replace him in the interim. So this is a developing fluid story. Let's see where this goes. Now, this next story has a little bit of a mix of someone getting fired, but also resigning. President Trump doing his "you're fired" thing. We have President Trump yesterday saying that thousands of people, or 1,000 people, are going to be dismissed because they are not MAGA and they are holdovers and plants and people that are in federal positions but not down with America first. So President Trump last night truthed out the following: "Our first day in the White House is not over yet. My presidential personnel office is actively in the process of identifying and removing over 1,000 presidential appointees from the previous administration who are not aligned with our vision to make America great again. Let this serve as official notice of dismissal for these 4 individuals, with many more coming soon. Jose Andres from the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, Mark Milley from the National Infrastructure Advisory Council, Brian Hook from the Wilson Center for Scholars, and Keisha Lance Bottoms from the President's Export Council. You're fired. You're fired. You're out of here." Now, let's talk about Jose Andres, a man who seems to have a peculiar and a particular possible connection to would-be second assassin attempter Ryan Ruth. The man who was previously photographed with would-be assassin Ryan Ruth and later honored by Joe Biden with the Presidential Medal of Freedom has released a statement following his firing by President Trump. Jose Andres quickly responded to President Trump's Truth Social post, which was also found on Twitter. "I submitted my resignation last week. My 2-year term was already up." Wait a minute. Something doesn't jive here. Jose Andres is trying to one-up President Trump, saying that he submitted his resignation last week because his 2-year term was already up. If your 2-year term was already up, why would you tender and submit a resignation? Sounds like malarkey to me. I hope Donald Trump exercises his presidential authority so the council can continue to advocate for fitness and good health for all Americans. These are bipartisan issues, not partisan issues. Non-partisan issues. And I think that President Trump is going to be taking good health for Americans into great consideration, seeing that he has put RFK Jr. in charge. And then, of course, because weak men and soy boys always have to have the last word and throw a fit as they go out the door, may God give you the wisdom, Mr. President, to put politics and name-calling aside and instead lift up the everyday people working to bring America together. Let's build longer tables. Says the man that was photographed with the would-be assassin number 2 of President Trump and who received a Medal of Freedom from Joseph Robinette Jr. Boy, folks, does the swamp, the deep state, and the treasonous, traitorous rat bastards run deep, don't they? Okay, let's talk about Pedro Sanchez. Most of you guys don't know. I'm imagining a lot of people don't know who Pedro Sanchez is. He's the Prime Minister of Spain. President Trump was sworn into office for the second time. We got a little bit of TDS from across the pond. Sanchez accused American tech billionaires of trying to use their absolute power over social media to control public debate and therefore government action in the entire Western world. That is how these Marxist idiots, haters, and Satan's minions actually show us what projection looks like. They are the ones who are trying to control Western civilization and the thought patterns of everyone from the youth to older people through social media, but they blame free speech, freedom of thought, and a debate in the public square as trying to control what people are talking about. Absolutely crazy. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urges global rebellion against the Silicon Valley technocrats threatening the democracy. I will say it in less than 280 characters. Democracy is not €1, one vote. It is not one tweet, one vote. It is one person, one vote. Europe must stand up to this threat and defend democracy. That's right, because these rat bastards thinking that quieting, censoring, and taking away free speech is somehow defending democracy. If you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and share it. Please share this video. Let them know I'm back, baby. I'm back with a vengeance. Trump is back with a vengeance. And the globalists aren't very happy about it. And the reason they're not happy is because there is and there has been a trajectory to the right, from left of center to right of center in Europe. And the globalists are losing their power. Let's talk about what Viktor Orban just said. Hungarian's Prime Minister Orban says the Trump era in the U.S. is set to trigger more conservative victories in a Europe already shifting right. Now, I was in Budapest March of last year, so about 9 months ago. And when I'm traveling, I don't talk politics generally, unless someone brings it up or asks me, then I'm unabashedly a supporter of President Trump. Have been since spring 2016 and still am. But I when I'm traveling, I just don't breach the subject. I'm a guest in someone's home and I'm not going to talk about politics. But when we got picked up by our driver in the Budapest airport, I asked the driver, I said, "Oh, what do you think of your prime minister?" And she had some criticism, but she was happy that when it came to being on the stage in Europe, that he was in defense of Hungary and not letting these mass immigration and other things to culturally change Hungary. I found that to be very interesting. The historic second presidential term of Donald J. Trump is sending geopolitical seismic waves all over the world. In many countries, right-wing political forces that espouse a common sense approach to policymaking may benefit from this altogether new political landscape. In Europe, that is expected to be the case, since the last year already saw the pendulum swift tremendously to the right side of the political spectrum in most countries. The Trump era in the U.S. will trigger a new right-wing surge in Europe, according to conservative champion Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. And what I'm quoting there is what is being reported by Reuters. Reuters, Trump's presidency will set off a new right-wing surge in Europe, according to Orban. So the whole world is going to benefit from this, much to the chagrin to the globalist agenda, which is anti-American, anti-human, anti-freedom, anti-democracy, at least our form of a democratic Republican form of government here in this great republic of the United States of America. Speaking of the globalist agenda, President Trump, one of the things he did yesterday, he said, nope, no more anchor babies. If the parents don't have a green card or one of them is not a citizen, no more anchor babies. It should come as no surprise that the forces went into immediate fight mode. They went into immediate fight mode. We have 18 Democrat state attorneys general suing President Trump to stop his executive order on birthright citizenship. Yep. This is being reported by ABC News. 22 states challenge Trump's executive order cutting birthright citizenship. President Donald Trump's bid to cut off birthright citizenship is a flagrantly unlawful attempt to strip hundreds of thousands of American-born children of their citizenship based on their parentage. Which is how it's supposed to be. Now, come on, folks. We know what's really happening here. We know that they have been misinterpreting the 14th Amendment. And that's how they've been getting away with this. And President Trump is using his power. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. But this is going to the courts to determine if, in fact, President Trump can do this. I don't think he would even attempt to do it if it weren't for the fact that there either is some precedent in the president being able to do this, or in fact, it is within the purview and authority of the president of the United States to do so. By the way, what are your thoughts on any of the stories that I have covered so far? Make sure you put your comments down below. Trump's order argued the 14th Amendment has always excluded babies born to people in the U.S. illegally. This is what he said. The 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to extend citizenship universally to everyone born within the United States. The 14th Amendment has always excluded from birthright citizenship persons who were born in the United States but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Consistent with this understanding, the Congress has further specified through legislation that a person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a national and citizen of the United States at birth, generally mirroring the 14th Amendment text. And that's what was put in the executive order by President Trump. And of course, that's why today we have Democrat state attorneys general now trying to halt President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. All right, staying with here with domestic news. Look at what Jake Sullivan and the treasonous, traitorous rat bastards, the entrenched DC swamp, is up to now. Jake Sullivan told NSC staffers to hold over to Trump House 2.0 to spy on and sabotage Trump. Well, doesn't that sound like a total repeat of 2017? Jack Sullivan, former national security advisor under Joe Biden, told NSC staffers, and this is according to investigative reporter Paul Sperry, who tweeted out, breaking, Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, has been encouraging people to hold over to the Trump White House in a redo of Obama holdovers who spied and leaked on and sabotaged Trump in early 2017, including CIA detailees. Hey, you can't argue that they caused a lot of damage in 2017, and they're looking to repeat that. But we know that President Trump is way ahead of them, way ahead of them. That is why, like I shared here, President Trump said, when it comes to specifically when he talked about the presidential appointees, he said he's cleaning house of anyone who is not aligned with our vision to make America great again. And that's not going to be appointees. That's going to be everyone in D.C. that they can fire or push and squeeze out. And of course, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel at the DOJ and the FBI respectively are going to help out with that weeding process as well. Folks, this is just day 2. This is just day 2. But I'm not done yet. I've got, 1, 2, 3 more quick stories here. DEI or DIE, whatever the case may be. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. We got another one. Trump administration fires woke Coast Guard leader over DEI obsession, ignoring border security threats and other significant failures. This is Coast Guard Commandant Linda Fagan. Linda Fagan right here getting the big fat boot from President Trump. President Trump continues to take no prisoners as he embarks on his mission to make America great once more. Fox News reported Admiral Linda Lee Fagan, commandant of the Coast Guard, was fired by the acting Secretary of Homeland Security, Benjamin Huffman, due to several operational failures under her watch, along with rampant political correctness. We also have President Trump stopping the halting of terror activity. He has halted funding for United Nations Relief and Works Agency, and that suspension was immediate. Another promise kept by President Trump. As President Trump works feverishly to undo the damage of the Biden-Harris-Obama regime unleashed across the globe, he announced the immediate suspension of funding of UNRWA as part of a decision to suspend any foreign assistance for 90 days pending reviews. By the way, U.S. donations comprise 30% of that organization's yearly budget. Simply mind-blowing taxpayer money was funding this embarrassment of an organization. If you're not aware, UNRWA was, they're essentially a terror-related organization. And we were giving them 30% of their funding. And let's end with this great news. We got this coming from ABC News. Judge blocks DOJ from sharing Jack Smith's classified docs report with members of Congress. Awesome, awesome news. Once again, we got a hero in Judge Eileen Cannon, who today blocked the Justice Department from sharing Jack Smith's classified documents report with Congress. Judge Cannon, during a hearing on Friday, appeared skeptical of Merrick Garland's plan to give Jack Smith's Volume 2 final report on Trump's classified documents case to Congress. Cannon repeatedly asked DOJ lawyers why they needed to show the classified documents report to lawmakers. The judge also asked if the final report was safeguarded from being leaked to the public. Of course it wasn't. That's the whole point. Damage. Maximum damage. Why is there such urgency to disclose this to... I'm excited here. Why is there such urgency to disclose this to Congress right now prior to the conclusion of the criminal proceedings, which would seem to be the ordinary course? That's what Cannon asked DOJ attorney Elizabeth Shapiro, as reported by Politico. At the end of the day, what's the upside of doing this right now? Now, of course, they argued that releasing a special counsel's final report to Congress is historical practice. Cannon said, "I'm still not hearing a satisfying answer to that question." Shapiro insisted there was virtually no likelihood that the report can leak, which of course means, in all likelihood, that damn report would have been leaked. I mean, who knows? They still might leak it anyway. Lawyers for Trump's co-defendant, Walt Nauta, insisted giving the final report to Congress would really be a release publicly. Cannon said the final report contains information Trump's lawyers argued were protected under attorney-client privilege. And today, Judge Cannon really laid into the DOJ for what she called startling conduct. So that's not going to happen. Yet another blow to the deep state. I want to thank you folks who saw these last set of videos and live streams I've done. We are at 159,001 subscribers. I'm sure it's be more than that by the time you watch it. If you're lurking out there and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe because the original BCP is back. I have heard you. This is going to be a news-only channel. If you want to watch what I have to say about business and leadership and personal development, check out the other channel down below. Actually, do me a favor, go to the other channel, and if you haven't subscribed, and go ahead and subscribe because that will help that channel grow as well. Even if you're not interested in that content, I would appreciate it if you went over there. I think I have 28,000 subscribers and help us grow on that channel as well. Just go over there. Click down below and subscribe. Hasta mañana. Until tomorrow, I am James, the original BCP, signing off. Until then, big hug, good night, ciao, and God bless.